Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box with the Technical Trader at thetechtrader.com. It is Tuesday night, January the 12th, and these are the charts of the day. It was a interesting day on Wall Street. Markets are all over the place, but a nice rally at the end of the day caused some gains on the session. And look, we had this set up for a rally because of the negative tick, which got down about 216, I think it was, or 230 today. I have to look. Let's look at the exact number right now. The T2106 McClellan oscillator traded as low as minus 215.72 and closed at 155.50, 155.77. You can see the bounce off the low. But nevertheless, that rally came from an oversold condition. And with the tick at one point, nearly 1360 negative, that was a pretty big number. So not surprised we got that kind of a reading. But let's take a look at the charts that did well today. Some of the stocks I'm interested in. Hearing good things about Digimarc, and the inverse head and shoulders was broken today with a breakaway gap and thrust and a close to the high end of the range today, up 684. It was a nice day trade, up nearly 19.5%. There's 15 plus days to cover. This could easily test the July high, which was a spike up there, 49.25. We could see at least a follow through to get it up towards 46.7 to 49 in the next day or two. Stay tuned on that one. Well, regardless of what you think, the price of oil that I've been talking about for weeks now did get under 30 for a fraction and closed, I think, 30.64 or something like that, but 30.34, whatever it was. The bottom line is oil's had a big move down. The ultra short oil, the DWTI and SCO have been phenomenal. DWTI since early November, 2 months now, 82 and change to 357. So more than a fourfold increase. And I think after 7 days in a row, this stock is ahead of itself. The ETF is. It spiked up through the top of the channel. And I wouldn't be a chaser on this one. Of course, you want to day trade it, you can. But if you're looking at this on anything more than that, the stock's overbought here intraday. The other one on the trend, I should say. SCO, same thing. As you can see, from a low of pullback low in early November of 73.65. Today's high 197. About 150% gain in a 5-wave advance with a spike up 7 days in a row here. So even though it can get higher, if the price of oil does any kind of rebound, I think this pulls back dramatically towards 150 thereabout, if not more. The DWTI could easily pull back in that 240-60 zone for a substantial pullback. So careful on that one. EGHT continues to act well. If you look at the overall structure, I love the base, the breakout, the 3-wave corrective wedge type pattern. It did make a nominal new low, but it went right on that trend line, held it, and exploded from 1033 to 1111. It was up at 1108 on the close, just 3 cents off the high, up 75 cents or 7.25%. Now with 4.2 days to cover, I suspect we may get a run up to 11 3/4, 12. Test that zone. If we get through it, my swing target is in a 14.5 3/4 range. Well, the LABU, after reaching the bottom of its channel, had a nice thrust, obviously coming down for like 7 days in a row. 8 days, we had a pretty strong thrust downward on big volume, and today an inside day, but a positive one, as the stock closed with a gain up 98 cents or almost 9%. The volume was a hefty 7 million. So we're going to continue to look at this one. I think we may get a follow through tomorrow to as high as 13.5 3/4. We'll just have to keep eyeing. That's my target on this one, short term, followed by potentially, if it really gets rolling, 15. Well, GL's light path did very well today but it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 waves, and it is at lateral resistance on the weekly chart, going all the way back to the 0910 highs. So it could pull back, and it did late in the day after reaching 379 to close at 344. It was up 63 cents, but substantially off the high, and but it's still a 22% gain. Nice day on that one. If it does punch its way through here, the target is going to be upwards of 6 3/4. So that's my big target for nearly double from here. Love to see if it pulls back, consolidates, and holds the prior highs, which would be somewhere up around here. That's now your support, about 2.560. So if we do get some consolidation here, that could be a setup for a 5th wave with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That could take you to 6 3/4 at that point. Anyway, we'll be watching this one going forward. New swing trade NVRO. Well, the reason I like this stock is pretty obvious. It's had a monster run. It consolidated beautifully when the market came down. And as soon as we got any kind of indication of a rally, yesterday it popped. Today it had a positive inside day, closing below the highs, but up on the day of 252 or 3.7%. Now, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I think the stock has a shot at mid-channel at 77 range. Ultimately, we could see the stock run into the mid-high 80s if we get any kind of decent environment in the market. Keep an eye on this one. 6.35 days to cover. I think they're trapped. ORBC swing trade acting well. And here's the key to this one. Looking at the long-term consolidation, it's now 2 years in the making and acting like it wants to blow through it. It already broke the June high. It still has the February, March highs from 2014, 2 years ago, to take out. And that would be a test of the 810 range, which is my short-term target. But I think that stock has a chance at $9. PACB, well, we were looking for a pullback after the fifth wave reached the top of the channel there. My target at 14 and change. Big nasty pullback. Now yesterday it reversed off the trend line and moving average and closed strongly. And today, a positive inside day like many stocks we're seeing. Up 72 cents or 6% with 6.66 days to cover. Should it take out yesterday's high over 13? This could run towards 16. So keep an eye on this one as well. Ring Central, one of our top picks for the year and looking great. Had a strong pullback. Snapped back $1.35 or 6.5% today. There's nearly 6 days to cover in this one. I'm looking for a test of the 23 range and then a test of the 24.5 range as my next targets. SGI had a big pop today. Silicon Graphics was a good day trade for our group as it ended up, particularly towards the end of the day, making a nice move. It broke out of the coil and ran up and pulled back and closed well. But on the day, intraday, it did well. The daily chart shows a run up to resistance at the declining tops line. Next objective would be to take out 665. That could happen as early as tomorrow. And ultimately, we got a stock that could get to 8 with a thrust like this, with 8.74 days to cover, and traded almost 3 million shares today. I think this one may follow through. Keep an eye on that one. Another one is SIEN that I'm really liking. Ever since this left shoulder, head and right shoulder inverse pattern, had a breakout, flag, pop, retest, and then running again. Today was up 4.66%. 2 million traded. Good volume the last 3 sessions. Now, there's a gap here and there's resistance here, so we may see some sort of pullback off the top of that channel near resistance. But I think at some point, this is an $11 and $13 stock. SMCI popped on very strong positive earnings and sales news, which broke it out of this large multi-month falling wedge. Take a look. And through resistance, through 2 moving averages, 3 moving averages, and closing well. But it did not close below or above the declining tops line. So I'm going to look for a follow through to see if we can get that. If we do, the target's 30.5 to 31.5 short term. And lastly is VUZI, which got hammered back from 8 and 3/4 range all the way back to 460, just in about 7 or 8 sessions. But today reaching clear support at the trend line and near the lateral price support. I'm not surprised that it reversed. We put a swing trade on about 465, right near the low, and it closed at 534 for a nice reversal. My short-term targets would be about 6 and 7. Let's see if we can at least get it up to 595.6 range. That would be my first objective. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening.